You know, it's wild to think about how fast-paced Los Angeles mornings can be. Imagine that morning at the LAPD headquarters. There were cameras everywhere, all set to catch something very important. The excitement was real, and you could feel the anticipation in the air.
Yeah, exactly. It was June 17, 1994, a moment that changed everything. O.J. Simpson, he was such a big figure, larger than life. The whole situation was unfolding like a mystery, and the media frenzy was just incredible. It's surprising how one event could cause such a stir.
O.J. Simpson was not just a football player, he was one of the best out there. People loved to watch him play. He was a great running back, and many admired him for his skills. After his football career, O.J. worked hard to find new ways to stay in the spotlight. He used his charm and personality to move into media. People could see him everywhere, from TV ads to movies. He became a household name.
You're right. O.J.'s move to the media world wasn't just a small step, it was a huge leap. Lots of people knew him because of his commentary during sports games. He seemed to always know what to say and had a way of making people listen. His appeal wasn't just about his accomplishments, but also his personality. However, his fame made his legal problems much more complicated. Everyone was watching every move he made.
Exactly, his impact was massive. O.J. was everywhere, on TV shows and ads, and people loved his appearances. He was funny and charming, which helped him stay popular even after his games ended. He brought excitement into everything he did. O.J.'s life looked amazing from the outside, but there was a different side too. As famous as he was for sports and TV, these things added a layer of complexity to his life when things started going wrong.
Indeed, it's kind of ironic how his fame became both a gift and a problem. The media loved him, so when the legal issues came up, the attention was unavoidable. O.J.'s fame wasn't just a career, it was part of who he was. It affected how people viewed his situation and made the legal matters very public. Still, his life story is a reminder of how success and problems can be closely linked in a public figure's life.
So let's talk about what happened on June 12, 1994 in the Brentwood area. It was a normal night until something terrible was found. Two people, Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman, were discovered dead. It was truly shocking. Nicole was O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, and the news of these deaths was all over the place very fast.
Yes, it really was a sad and serious moment. People wanted to know what happened, and the media quickly took notice. Forensic evidence was important here, pointing directly to O.J. Simpson as the main suspect. This evidence was strong, making everyone pay even more attention to the case. The suspicion about O.J. was immediate, and so was the media spotlight on this case.
Right, the investigation unfolded quickly. The crime scene was closely examined, and it became clear that this was not just a simple case. The details were shared widely, and it seemed like every new piece of information was leading back to O.J. These findings, combined with his fame, made the case even more complex and captivating for the public.
Exactly. The whole situation turned into a media spectacle. It was not just about finding out what happened at the crime scene, but also understanding the bigger story behind it. O.J. Simpson, being such a famous person, made it a big topic for everyone. Each detail brought more questions and made the world watch closely, waiting for what would happen next in this unfolding drama.
You know, O.J. and Nicole's past was quite troubling. There was a history of domestic abuse that cannot be overlooked. Nicole made several calls to 911, asking for help because of the way O.J. behaved. It was a real nightmare for her, and it's so important we talk about it today. Over time, these incidents built up a picture of what was really happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Their relationship was very strained. There were many incidents where things got really difficult between them, and the violence was frequent. Nicole went through a lot, and there were reports of stalking and harassment. These situations added a different layer to everything, especially when we think about the tragic night that brought this all to light. The background of such issues shows how complex and sad their story was.
That's right. Understanding this lineup of troubles in their past is crucial to grasp why the events unfolded as they did. All these problems were warning signs that Nicole was in a dangerous situation. She reached out for help more than once, but the cycle of abuse kept coming back. It's a reminder of how pressing it is for individuals in such situations to receive the support and protection they need to break away from such patterns.
Yes, and unfortunately, these issues were a part of their everyday life. The past incidents of violence created lots of tension and fear. Every time she called for help, it was clear that the situation was more serious than it appeared. This tragic background set the stage for the terrible events that happened. It's clear that these patterns of behavior were that never-ending shadow over their relationship, affecting everything.
That morning at LAPD headquarters was like something out of a movie. More than 1,000 reporters were standing by, their cameras ready, waiting to catch O.J. Simpson as he turned himself in. The plan was simple. He would arrive, be arrested, and taken into custody. Everyone thought it would only take a few minutes, but the excitement in the air was huge. People knew this wasn't just any arrest. It was a moment that would be shown all over the news. The idea of seeing such a famous man in handcuffs was both shocking and unbelievable. All eyes were on the station, and no one wanted to miss it.
Right, but things didn't go the way anyone expected. Time kept passing, and OJ still didn't show up. Reporters were waiting for hours. Finally, police came out and told them something surprising. OJ was missing. No one could believe it. This man, who had agreed to come in peacefully, had suddenly disappeared. It completely changed the mood. The media, the police, the public, everyone was shocked. The plan to show him being arrested in front of the cameras was now off the table. Instead of a calm surrender, this became the start of a mystery. Where was OJ? Why didn't he show up? No one had answers, only questions.
So, after O.J. didn't show up at the LAPD, everyone was in shock. The police announced that they were now searching for him. This whole thing turned into a massive manhunt. It was like a scene from a dramatic movie. People all over Los Angeles were on edge, wondering what would happen next and where he could possibly be. The media coverage was everywhere, with constant updates.
That's right. It was chaos in Los Angeles. People couldn't believe that someone as famous as OJ was now a fugitive. His whereabouts were unknown, and everyone was talking about it. The streets were buzzing with rumors, and the tension was growing. The news channels reported every possible clue and speculation. People were glued to their TVs waiting for the next big news update about OJ's location.
Yes, the tension and uncertainty made it feel like the whole city was holding its breath. The LAPD was under pressure to find OJ as quick as they could. Reporters were trying to get any new details they could find. This search had turned into the biggest story of the year. It wasn't just a local story anymore, it was everywhere. Everyone wanted to know what was going to happen next.
Exactly. It seemed like overnight, this situation was on every news channel. The unknown made it all the more gripping. People everywhere were starting conversations about the case, guessing what OJ might do. The radio, TV, and newspapers were all talking about this manhunt. It was as if the world was tuning in to a real-life crime show, waiting to see how it would all end up.
You know, at the center of all this chaos, OJ was hiding at Robert Kardashian's house. It was not just a place for him to stay, but a gathering point for his closest people. His lawyers were there too, discussing the best moves for OJ. It wasn't just about legal advice, but about what OJ should do next. They needed to think carefully about every step.
Indeed, there was a lot going on at that house beyond just planning. There was real worry about how OJ was feeling. His friends and advisors wanted to make sure he was okay. When the police showed up, it was quite tense. OJ's lawyers had to talk with the police about how things should be done. They needed to work out a way for him to surrender without any more trouble.
This negotiation was really important. The situation had to be handled very carefully to avoid any clashes. Every conversation had potential consequences, not just for OJ, but for everyone around him. Inside the house, emotions were high, with people trying to support him while also dealing with their own feelings. It was a strange mix of loyalty and uncertainty, all unfolding in real time.
Absolutely. The situation was delicate. Those involved needed to make sure they were doing what was best for OJ and keeping things calm. The police were on high alert given the prominence of the case, so managing the surrender required a lot of careful thought. The role of OJ's supporters was crucial in these moments. They had to keep everything steady and ensure that things proceeded smoothly.
Thank you for joining us today as we remembered this monumental media event. O.J. Simpson's case did not only capture the eyes and ears of people across the world, it changed the course of legal history. The impact of this event still stays strong in our public consciousness. By looking back, we learn about how media and legal worlds can collide in curious ways.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please support us by giving a like and leaving a comment if you found this story interesting. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes where we explore more captivating moments in history. We couldn't do this without you, and we look forward to having you with us next time. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.